Had to get my jig on, man. Had to get we here. We out here, man. Listen, I'm your host with the most. We'll have the Totally the Johnson. We're here to talk more Penn State, more Eagles. It's crazy right now. Listen, shout out to Penn State. Shout out to Coach Franklin, the whole squad, whole team. Man, it's been good. It's been this time that Franklin's been waiting for to be more of people have always questioned him. He's always been good. Just kind of like Ferranti. People questioned him before he got on his circuit. But Franklin, man, listen, he's been one of the greatest college football coaches in the entire country for a minute. One of the best recruiters, family to his recruits, family to his family. You got guys like Saquon Barkley and Chris Godwin, Micah Parsons, all these guys, just to name a few, and not to mention, he's always got somebody like Olu Fashanu. I remember when he was recruited, and he wasn't high rated. I mean, he was a 3-star, and look where he got to. Top 10 type prospect. Look at Abdul Carter. I mean, he always has someone up there. Jahan Dotson to Saquon Barkley to Micah Parsons. He always has someone up there in the elite group. So, shout out to them. Now, 31-14. Now, I'm telling people, I was like, listen, Penn State is a different type of dog than SMU or Boise State. And I heard somebody hating on Twitter like, oh, man, they're about to face the big dogs now. Anybody in the college football playoff is a big dog. But referring back to my stance, Penn State is just a bigger dog. So the big dog is Penn State. So anybody facing them, look, when they went against Ohio State, it was 20-13. That was it, 7 points. 45-38 against Oregon, the number one team. They went in a shootout with Oregon. Drew Allard went at it with Dylan Gabriel, who was up there with the Heisman hopefuls, the finalists. They could have won those games. Could easily right now be 15-0. Could easily right now be another bracket. It was just, we looking at the games, man. We saw how Penn State get down. Now, these two games, SMU, of course, the super blowout. 38-10. Let's go into the thing that is 31-14. Now the game was 14-0, and then people was like, "Oh, I remember when my boy Alex Wright was like, oh, dog fight when it was 14-7." I'm like, man, this ain't a dog fight. He just made a mistake. What's going to be a blowout? I called it at 14-7. I said, even when they scored, when it was 17-7 in a halftime, and they came and they scored 17-14, because the guy was wide open. It was like it had to be a misplay. It had to be a missed call by the coaches. Straight mistake by the coaches. The guy was wide open. It wasn't like they threw anything hard. It wasn't like, oh, here they come. GD, shout out to Ashton GD, Ashton Genty, my bad. One of the best backs, such a sensational back, such a sensational player. 30 carries, 104 yards. He had 3.5 yards per carry. But I think the disrespect, Boise State was taking it like disrespect. Boise State took that like disrespect, Ashton G. All year, and he's supposed to. He's supposed to play with a chip on his shoulder. He's supposed to want the Heisman for this matter, but he wasn't going to win it over Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter played both sides of the field and was elite. That would have been anybody else winning over Travis Hunter would have been straight. It would have been the biggest ripoff in Heisman history because he had played both. It's nothing you can do. As good as Ashton Genty was, as good as Dylan Gabriel played, I feel that Shedeur Sanders should have been ranked somewhere in there. But Cam Ward doing a good job all year. But Hunter was in another level. He should have even been in there with none of them. Not even Shedeur Sanders. Travis Hunter was over here, like a whole nother level. So I just feel like that's different. So now, I want to get back to that because you talk about disrespect. Y'all don't know who Katron Allen and Nicholas Singleton is? Coming out of high school, these guys were super recruited. I remember when they went after, Florida. I mean, Penn State does a good job of recruiting in Florida. And Allen was one of those snatches out of IMG. And they got both of those guys. And look what they did. 17 carries for 134 yards. 7.9 yards per carry. Just from one back, right? But 12 carries from the other. Now remember, Genty had 30 carries. That's 29 carries. 12 for Singleton and then 17 for Allen. 12 carries for 87 yards. 12 carries. He came out with a 58-yarder. Bow! Genty had a 26-yard run. Singleton had a 23-yarder. Okay. But Allen had a 23-yarder. And Singleton had a 58-yard touchdown. I mean, I think the disrespect was not the respect being put on these guys' names. Singleton and Allen they are NFL talents. It's no doubt these guys, when they're drafted, they're going to be looked at as NFL starting running backs. These two guys are dynamic to the core. Singleton's a hell of a all-purpose back. I think he's so underrated as all-purpose back, and Allen can catch the ball a little bit too. But I just feel like Singleton is just, man, both these guys can hurt you in both ways. It's a very good team. Now, if you look at this game, you look at how Tyler Warren, 6 catches for 63 yards. This guy's just contained 2 touchdowns. I mean, that's 17 yards. Listen, he's just something different. And Penn State's had some good tight ends, Jasicki, Kyle Brady over the years with Paterno, Pat Freiermuth. We're talking about guys, and then if I go back, Kyle Pitts was recruited by Penn State, but he didn't play with Penn State, of course. It's just dynamic. To Theo Johnson, Brenton Strange, there's some good tight ends that came out, and then there's some guys that went to pro that was good. And we're talking about Jasicki, we're talking about Freiermuth. Brady was solid. But this guy different. Tyler Warren was recruited as like Swiss Army knife. He was recruited like more of an athlete. And then all of a sudden, he could have picked running back, could have picked receiver. Tyler Warren could have picked a defensive position. Like, he's that type of athlete. And to see that he was this good at tight end, man, it's crazy. I think he's going to be a hell of a pick for anybody in the 2025 NFL draft. I think he's a first-round pick. It's not even a question. I think he's got some Heisman consideration. He's good. Amari Evans and Harrison Wallace, man, you know what? I just don't feel like they get their due either. Because I think this team is so good that, or talented. Can I say talented? That's the best word, talented, but that people forget guys. And Amari Evans and Harrison Wallace III, man. 3 catches for 37, 2 for 55, stretched the field. You know what I mean? Even Luke Reynolds, who's going to be the next star tight end, he was a big-time recruit at tight end by Villanova, had 2 catches for 16. He's been a guy that's, been putting his dibs in. I just think it's such a talented team. A lot of guys had to transfer. I don't see why Bo Babula transferred so early, man. Don't even get a national championship before you go. It had to be some bad blood somewhere in there, man. I really feel like, I don't know for sure. I don't know, so don't quote me. But damn, he just left before they even finished the college football playoff. And I would think that's disrespect. Let me stop there. But what it looks like, and I ain't saying he meant to be disrespectful or nothing. I just felt like, damn, man, rock out with your team first, then move on. That's totally respectable. Looking more at it, and you're looking at with Drew Lard, 13 for 25, 171, but he had 3 touchdowns. He had a Jalen Hurts game. When you throw for under, they talk stuff about Jalen Hurts, and he always accurate. And he always got a good, accurate percentage thrower, real good. Madison had 304 yards, 3 interceptions though. He tried, but he had a rough game, man. Those guys really tried. Matt Lauder tried. He had the 53 yarder that, because he was wide open. Jalen Reed, man, I had got shout out to Alex Wright. He had told me something about he was on Instagram, talking about Genie who they supposed to. Damn right. Y'all want to act like that. Well, he's the big name. And then they was talking crazy, like, we gonna show him what's up. Like, okay. All right. Oh, they was 12-1. Now they're going to face the big dogs. Oh, the Boise State ain't the big dogs? They was ranked high. They put them over Penn State. They not the big dogs. We beat the guys that were below them at 11, which was SMU. Then they beat the guys that was at the top of them. I don't know what to say. But that's who they ranked higher. So y'all talk to them. So now they play whoever wins Notre Dame and Georgia. And Georgia's the only team I'm scared of because Georgia wins. Say what you want. Georgia wins. Georgia wins. They win. So people are saying Notre Dame. Okay, yeah, they're good. They're good. That's a team to look at. But Georgia and Ohio State were two teams. Oh no, not Georgia and Ohio State. Georgia was a team that I'm just. Then we talk about Gunnar Stockton. A lot of people are talking about the quarterback, and if Georgia don't have an answer, then I guess they're saying some people are saying Notre Dame. I heard one analyst say Notre Dame. Then listen, Penn State lost to Ohio State and Oregon. Where are they ranked right now? And Dan Orlovsky's top 5, he had Ohio State and Oregon. Oregon been number 1 all year. We only lost by 7 and put 38 on them. And then you're talking about Ohio State. Really shut them down to 20 points when they, lost by 7, 20-13. I feel like there's no other. If you're looking at it now, if you look at it from this standpoint now, that they're gonna beat Boise State the way they beat Boise State. They tore up SMU. Okay, boom. I mean, they beat a ranked opponent. If they would have beat these two teams in the season, they would have been ranked higher. Like this, they would have been ranked higher in the college football playoff. Now people are like, oh, just some people like, oh, it's Boise State and SMU. What the hell? We in the college football playoffs, the best of the best. And they are annihilating people. So I'm telling you right now, I know Notre Dame is there. Notre Dame do this and do that. I just don't really see I'm impressed by it, Notre Dame. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that Penn State can beat anybody. They have proved it. The way their defense is playing is retarded. Just like Phillies, the Eagles defense, right? Penn State defense, they shut Genie down. SMU couldn't get nothing off. If you look at it, the way Penn State played Ohio State, but Oregon did run up 45 on them. So, we got to see. Notre Dame has running backs. I mean, but Penn State, you can't run on this squad. So this is going to be something. Penn State looks like they're ready. Kobe King, one of the twins, had 8 tackles. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Reed, once again, 8 tackles, a sack. And you know what I'm saying? Tony Rojas, my guy, man. Remember I interviewed him for Philly Sports Network, man. 7 tackles. Pass deflected. He's one of the best all-around defensive players on there. And Manny Vanover, another pass rusher they recruited, showed up 6 tackles, a sack, and a tackle for a loss. Had a hell of a game. Jalen Kimber, hell of a transfer. Been playing real good. 6 tackles, tackle for loss. Also, then it's Sutton, man. Danny Sutton, excuse me. Another pass rusher. A pass rusher. Good edge rusher that they recruited has been real good. 2.5 tackles for loss, 1 sack, and 6 tackles. I mean, just looking at this game, this team, Danny DeLuca, has been real good this year, man. Dominic DeLuca has been real good this year, man. This defense has showed up. Devon Thomas, if the people don't know who he is, Devon Ellis he changed his name. He's recruited by him, high recruit. Has been playing big for him, real big for him. Davian Collins, 5 tackles. I just feel like A.J. Harris has been good. Another transfer, 4 tackles. Zion Tracy, shout out to Zion Tracy, had 3 tackles, had a pick. He had a pick, man. Yes. Zion Tracy was offered by Villanova. He was one of their targets. Um, he was recruited as a receiver, and then he went down to cornerback. He could run like a 4.3, 4.2. He's super speed. And then all of a sudden he reclassified and then got it worked real hard. I'm real proud of this guy. I'm so proud of Zion Tracy. Shout out Zion Tracy. Shout out Zion. Shout out. I'm very proud of you, man. You really worked hard, and then you made people pay attention to you and got their offering for Penn State, and you've been shining ever since, man. Can return kicks. This guy can run a 4.3, super athlete. Zaki Wheatley, man, with the interception, three tackles. Keziah Izzar has always been they're just so deep down the line. Cam Miller to DeJuan Lane, they're deep. Elliot Washington. Tyler Elsdon, man, he was offered by Nova, man. Ended up moving up, getting more attention from people. Got an offer from Penn State. It's just it's a good team, man. Good team all around, especially defensively. Especially defensively, man. It's really something to look at when we talk about defense. Tyrese Mills, another guy, got an interception, man. Unbelievable. Just a real unbelievable team, man. And as they play, the more that they play, the more good they get, man. It's real good, man. It's something spectacular to look at because this is finally the team. Because Drew Allard was all just like Clifford. He was a highly touted quarterback coming out, and Franklin's always tried to get that quarterback. That quarterback that he recruited. I mean, listen, let me tell you what he's went through. Franklin. First, he had Justin Fields. Justin Fields decommitted. It was a hell of a class, a dream class. You had Ricky Slade, Micah Parsons, and Justin Shorter. Some of them guys didn't turn out to be Zach Kuntz. These guys were big time guys. Didn't turn out to be what they was. But Justin Fields had decommitted, and went elsewhere. Went to Georgia, then ended up going to Ohio State. Going through quarterbacks, after McSorley, trying to find that right guy. Will Levis was here. Then Will Levis transferred to Kentucky, had a big time career, big time draft pick. I mean, highly talented draft pick. You come to Drew Allard at the Clifford. You keep going. Keep making and then Drew Allard, it was highly touted, man. You're trying to see what you're going to do. Last year, he showed the talent. You see the talent. This year, he has been unbelievable. His running style, I think that's what picked up to me. Like, he started to run more and be more dangerous as a runner. I saw that. He's more dangerous as a runner. Looking at the game, I want to talk about with SMU. I just want to talk about the SMU game. 38-10, man. 38-10. It was not even a contest. Drew Allard, 127 points. 127 yards. 13 for 22. But the crazy part wasn't that. It was the running game. Singleton, 90 yards. Allen, 70 yards. Like I say, the disrespect once again. Come to this game, Genty, as he should getting a lot of people, talking about Genty, but nobody was talking about Singleton and Allen. And they've been doing this. Now you're going to have to. If you're not talking about with 90 yards, these guys have killed the college football playoffs. 6.4 yards per carry each last game. It's crazy. 2 touchdowns for Allen. Allen has really been bananas. But then Singleton lets you know he's such a home run hitter. He just lets you know, hey, yeah, I'm still over here. 58 yards, I'm still over here. Penn State receiver Harrison Wiles III has been balling. Last game, four catches, 48 yards. Stretch the field. Tyler Warren been balling. He had 4 catches too. Shoot, Allen had 2 catches. Just a real good team. And then when they want to, they could throw Liam Clifford. They could do that. Khalil Dinkins. It's crazy because they could throw it to him and you forget about, like, there's some talented guys on the offense that you don't even think about because they're not Dinkins and Reynolds they're tight ends. highly talented tight ends out of high school, good recruits, big recruits, and these guys can play. They can catch. They showed it during the season. But you got Tyler Warren, so you forget they have 3 starting tight ends who could be all Big Ten. Like, that's what people are not saying. I know I'm not saying they're going to do what Tyler Warren did, but they're going to be forces. They're going to be guys you draft 3rd round picks. Both of these guys can really play. Luke Reynolds and Khalil Dinkins, 3rd, 4th round pick type guys. So I'm looking at them. And then you go down, Harrison Wallace, man. You know what? Harrison Wallace, different in so many different phases of the game, man. At 6'1", 199, he's going to have a big year next year. He had 723 yards this year. 46 catches. Like, he's been like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? Like, looking at that guy and looking what he's done. Kobe King, another big game, like he had last game. Zakee Wheatley, big game. He gonna have a big year next year. Kosiah Izzard, I can't wait to see what he does next year. It's crazy to look at a lot of these guys on this defense. You know, like that's coming back, and what are they going to do? Looking at guys like I said, Sutton has been one of my favorite players to watch. DeLuca had a super game the last game, and I think DeLuca is a guy that's not looked at enough. He's a junior, man, so him coming back next year is retarded. The way this man's been playing in his time when they put him in there, like I just can't wait to see what he does. Another Pennsylvania prospect, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Out of Pennsylvania, squad with this team. It's really something to see the defense to me. I think the defense, it's really something to see how good the defense plays. That's a little crazy. And like I say, Rojas is another guy. Like, I don't know. It's just really something to see how this defense plays. Zion Tracy can return punch. Listen, it's really something to look at this squad because I feel like Penn State has enough to win it all. You know what? They have stuff everywhere. They got cornerbacks. They got safeties that can eat you, kill you. They got middle linebackers. They got edge rushers. The edge rushers will give you pressure. Their defensive tackles can stop the run and can rush you. So their defense is an X factor, boy. If one thing I've learned this year is that defense with the Eagles and watching Penn State is that defense is something else. It really, if you have a great offense and you have good offensive weapons, if you have an elite defense, you can turn unstoppable through a stretch because you're going to learn what your weaknesses are. You're going to learn what your pluses are, right? You're going to learn what your pluses and minuses are. But if your offense can strike and it's explosive, but nobody can score on you, and then you're beating people up, it makes your offense even more tiresome because the defense is beating up the offense. And now it puts pressure on the other defense to stop explosive offense, more pressure. Because when it's time for the offense, they're going to have to deal with hell. So hell is on the defense, but then you're like, oh, we got to stop this offense so we can get back and try to see if the offense can score in this defense. But when they can't score, it just makes the offense even more better. It's crazy, man. It's real crazy. Looking at this team, looking at this squad, unbelievable squad, really. I just think I don't know. This is the year I think Penn State can take it. This year they got the 2 games, not just because they got the 2 wins. They blew them out. I don't care if we're talking about at least, and the games don't even look close. Like they don't look at the game. They don't look close. They don't look close. They don't look close. When you watch the game, you're just like, So now when you go against the Georgias, Alabama's gone, Michigan got them. Wow, that was big. Big win by Michigan. Georgia, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Texas, some good teams. But tell me what they have that Penn State doesn't have. That's what I need to know. And in the fact that they get two blowouts, now you go into the game and what have works to an elite fact. And it's been doing it all year because it's been people talking about Penn State. Mad Dog, Chris Mad Dog Russo, got a lot of love for him, very intelligent person. He's like, why is Penn State in there? Why are they in the college football playoffs? Big Ten's not. Big Ten's a heavy conference. I don't care that their sorriest teams give trouble to some of the best teams. It's the Big Ten. So then, they got games that they have impressive wins through the season, okay? Then the Ohio State lost. So they lost to Ohio State by 7 points. They lost to Oregon, the number one team, by 7 points. And they got into a shootout with them. So now you come into here and they blow out two college football. Now you're in the college football playoffs. No matter how big or little you can consider SMU or Boise State to be, they made it to the college football playoffs. And one of them has a Heisman Trophy candidate, a generational rusher. And they stopped them. So now you're looking at both games and you're analyzing and you're saying, okay, if they stop Genty, how come they can't stop Notre Dame? How come they can't stop Texas? How come they can't stop Georgia? Running attack. Just put the Georgia attack. Now we're talking about passes. Dylan Gabriel didn't really listen. Looking at the quarterbacks, they don't have a fun time against Penn State. No, offenses don't have quarterbacks do not have a fun time with Penn State. So I'm totally confident in what can happen with Penn State at the momentum they're playing. They're playing at a bigger momentum than at the beginning of the year because you don't see them beating Boise State and SMU caliber teams early in the year like they're doing now. They've got it together. They've got the chemistry. Everything's coming together. Everything's different. I really have a lot of love for the way Penn State's making this happen. It's really crazy to see how it's going down and how people are still doubting Penn State. But they're ready. If you look on the defense, DeLuca, Jalen Reed, Kobe King, Sutton, these guys are playing. It's like they're playing. Like every you're going to see these guys every time. You're going to see Penn State. You're going to see these guys shine. I just really believe cold-heartedly that Penn State can win it. Am I calling them? Am I calling it? No, I'm not calling it right now. I need one more win. And I got to see how their win looks. And I got to see how other teams look. Like I'm still in a fair motion, but I do think they it's not even a far-fetched. Like that in the edge of thinking they can win the whole thing. They're there. They're there. They are there. They're one of those teams that, just like we got to be scared of Notre Dame. Notre Dame got to be scared of Penn State. They got two starting running backs. They got other guys that can. They got other guys that can stretch the field. I think the Evans Wallace thing is big because, Evans can really stretch the field, man. And Wallace can really get up there one-on-ones and stretch, take the top off. I think having two guys that can take the top off is different. Completely different. Evan, I've been a fan of him since they recruited him. You saw his highlight. He was like, "Who's this guy?" You never know who's going to make the team or rise up. You just look at talent. That's all you do. You look at talent. And 21 catches for 415 yards. He's coming back next year too. Alar's coming back. Evans is coming back. Wallace is coming back. You still got the tight ends. Unbelievable to look at, like how who can all come back and who's gonna. The big thing is what's going to happen with a Singleton. What's going to happen with Allen? That's the big thing. Singleton had 1,015 yards rushing this year, 9 touchdowns, 6.5 yards a carry, right? Then you're looking and you're seeing 39 receptions for 342 yards and 5 touchdowns. Like, this dude is different. So I think if anything, Singleton might leave. I think he might. Him coming back, we'll see. But I think Singleton's out of here. I think he's gone. He's too much of a good run. And then if they win the national championship, he's really going to roll out. Looking at Katron Allen, another guy who just looking at how Singleton is, right? He had 1,000-yard rushes, 1,026 yards. So if you put their yards together, that equals what Genty had. 5.1 average yards a carry, 8 touchdowns. Then you're looking, and he's still 17 catches and 2 receiving touchdowns is still big. Like, but Singleton's a better all-purpose back. It's just fun to watch both of them. It's fun to watch both of them progress, and they were recruited high, and look what they're doing. It's a very good team, man. Very good squad. It makes the other receivers good. They don't have to catch 4,000 yards. You already got a Tyler Warren. So they can just be who they're going to be. I just really believe in this squad and this team. I mean, you gotta go down, you gotta fall back, and you have to give it a little thought. Also with people on Penn State football, to talk about the outline of commits. The commits, man. They have the 19th ranked 2025 class right now. All right, they got that, right? And then you look at Andre Olish. He's a tight end. The number one, the top rated recruit, 47th in the nation. They got another tight end. The tight ends want to come to Penn State now. They're like, man, they always do good. They always milk your talent in Penn State if you're a tight end, because they have another tight end. They have another one. That's Jeff Exenor. He's 6'2", 220. I think he might end up being a receiver or something, but that's another tight end. He's a 4-star. 17th ranked tight end in the nation out of Maryland. Not only that, they got another one. Matt Henderson, the 23rd ranked tight end in the nation, 6'5", out of VA. Hey, hold on, y'all. Hold on for a minute. They got another one, Brady O'Hara. I remember talking to him earlier. 6'6", he's 6'6". PA prospect. Yo, just wait. Now they got 4 tight ends out this class. That is crazy. Not to mention, okay, you look at the transfers coming. Devontae Ross, wide receiver. Transfer out of Troy. N.I. White, former top recruit, almost 5-star out of high school, man. He's coming. It's going to be great to add to the edge. Add him 6'5", 245 out of Texas A&M. Kyron Hudson from USC, big-time recruit, went to USC. Now he's coming to Penn State, 6'1", 205. There's going to be something to see. I mean, that's going to be something to see, like how they do the receivers. You got Harrison Wiles III. Now you got Devontae Ross coming in. Got Ross coming in. Got Hudson coming. It's going to be something to see how they do these receivers. They want more weapons, and then they're going to have tight ends coming. It's going to be interesting because you still got some tight ends that's not going to be able to play, man. They're just not, because you got Khalil Dickens and then you got Luke Reynolds. So so now you're looking at other guys that they have on this staff. LeVar Arrington Jr. Man, unbelievable. Malachi Goodman, offensive line 6'5", 315, big guy. Darius Dixon, cornerback, coming up. Just a real good squad. It's one of those teams, man. It's a Lyric Samuels, another guy. Anytime I see a 6'4" wide receiver, I saw his tape. Guy's good. I want to see what happens. Malik Mega didn't turn out to be the guy, but Lyric Samuel, man, next. And you never know. Listen, everybody ain't gonna be good. But man, when I saw this guy's tape and his size, just if Penn State can get one of those players that's 6'4" at receiver to be good. I mean, when they got Justin Shorter, he was another tall guy. When they got Zach Kuntz, I was like 6'7". Are you kidding me? But everybody don't turn out to be good. All right, everybody, and the next squad, 2026 class, man, one of the best recruiters in the country. Even when Saban was around, no matter who was around, Frank was always one of the best recruiters in the country. 2026 class. This class is super. Rank 3, third in the nation, excuse me. Matt Sieg, the safety, top guy, top-rated guy on 247. Kevin Brand, offensive tackle, big-time guy. Messiah Mickens, oh man, he's good. Out of Harrisburg. Oh, man, this dude can run. He can run. He's going to be another running back. Bring him. Troy Hunn, a good quarterback, 6'4". I think he's going to get better. The edge rusher, Daniel Jennings, LeVar Keys, a super explosive. Had him on high level sports talk, super explosive receiver. Jaquaden Gifford, another receiver, 6'2". I like the size. It's good to get the size. And Jasiah Rogers, another wide receiver, explosive. It's just, this is a good squad. But then you go to 2027, right? I'm just saying. 2027. And they got people committing in 2027. And you know how high that class is? By 247 Sports. Number 3. But they only got only got 2 people. There's Leighton Von Brandt, offensive tackle, 6'6". Gonna get more weight on him. It's gonna be a big guy. He could end up being a 5-star. Another guy, Kermon Spellman, another guy that could end up, being a high level. I think he could go up in rating. We'll see. Kermon Spell, he's a running back, another running back. Out of PA too. Them PA running backs is different. LaShawn McCoy, Deion Lewis, Ricky Waters, just to name a few. Miles Sanders. Stop talking stuff. But yeah, no question. Good team. When we get back, man, I want to talk more about Saquon Barkley. My thing is Saquon Barkley, and I'm going to talk more about that. Just craziness on the part of where we at with that. Where we at, Saquon Barkley. All right? So when we get back, man, I will talk more about what I don't like. Yes, he should play. And I will talk about why when we get back here on Follow Leader. Yeah. What up? What up? What up? What up? We back, man. We back here on Follow the Leader. And, man, I want to talk about Saquon. Listen, bro. This is a little, and we're going to talk about some Eagles. We're going to get on the game, you know, the 41-7. Let's talk about that first. Kenny Pickett, 10 for 15, 143 yards, man. Touchdown, 119.6 rating. QBR 93. Listen, the man was a first-round pick. I said the guy, all he had to do was sit down and get used to the weapons real quick. You know, you just jump into the spot, and he did a good job when he came in. The man can play. He can win some games and win you a Super Bowl. With this talent, yes. Yeah, he can. He can win. Yes, with these weapons, he can win you a Super Bowl. With this coaching staff, he can win you a Super Bowl. So we got somebody to go out. And then the extra, it's safe term, Tanner McKee, 40th ranked recruit out of high school. This guy could have been a third-round pick if he would have went to the right school. Man, listen, Tanner McKee can throw the ball 3 for 4, but 3 of his completions were touchdowns. 2 of them were touchdowns. That's retarded. 96.8 QBR and a 156 rating. So you mean to tell me, Cowboy fans, you had the second string quarterback coming there, but the third string quarterback coming in and do better than the second string on you? Like, that's crazy. 2 touchdowns for Kenny Pickett. He had 1 rush and he had a throw. It's crazy. Saquon Barkley, 167 yards. We're talking Saquon, yes. Devontae Smith, 6 catches, 120 yards. AJ Brown, 3 for 36. If they don't play next year, if they don't play this game, let y'all know. Devontae Smith, the man, has 68 catches for 833 yards. We don't know if he gets in to get. Are they going to try to get him to 1,000 yards? He needs 167 yards of passing to get 1,000 yards for the third straight year. So maybe they give him his. I mean, will they play Devontae Smith? We'll see. AJ Brown, hell of a year, man. Hell of a year. Super year. I just think he didn't really need that game. He wanted to have that one game. I think I'm going to be quiet now. I just talked to Jalen myself. I don't think he does that anymore. He has 67 catches for 1,079 yards and 7 touchdowns. He doesn't do anything against the Giants. I don't know how many people they're going to play because we're getting the news that they won't play Saquon Barkley. I'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, we come to the defense that did a good job. Orion Burks did a hell of a job. Forced a fumble, 8 tackles. Zach Bond has 7 tackles. Pass deflected. Jalix Hunt, 6 tackles. Tackle for loss. He's just been real good. He's real slept on. Just like Moro Jomo. Both those guys come in and do good. Quinyon Mitchell, It was a touchdown called on them, but that was the only touchdown on the whole game for them. Might have been their Super Bowl. 5 tackles. Josh Sweat, 5 tackles. Thomas Booker, 5 tackles, half a sack. Another guy that, you forget about him. He adds pressure. Him and Ojomo have been real good at defensive tackle. Darius Slay, the hell of a job. Jeremiah Trotter had half a sack. Good for him, 3 tackles. Just good to see that. Ojomo really adds pressure, man. He does. He's in there. He's adding pressure. Milton Williams. It's something to see. Tristan McCullum is a guy. He's a solid player. He's a decent safety out there. He doesn't give you a minus when he's put in there. He's a guy that's athletic. He can run. He plays hard. Just a hell of a game. 2 interceptions by C.J. Gardner-Johnson. 6 on the year. Last time he was with Philly, he had 6. And we went to the Super Bowl. Eagles went to the Super Bowl. Last time this man had 6 interceptions. So, huge. Huge. Just a good game. We will do an end of the year follow the leader for the Eagles, run down stats and all that. Just been real big. Gainwell been good for kick returns. Cooper been good doing his thing, kickoffs. Elliott has been better from kicking now. Now he's doing his thing. Braden Mann got to give him his love. I think that's the one guy, him and Jay. I think the special teams not getting the love they deserve. Braden Mann and Keely Ringo, I think, are 2 guys that really, really slept on as guys that have been really contributing for this team. Ringo's been the top special teams player on the squad, and Braden Mann has been a hell of a punter. A hell of a punter. Just recently, 49 yards. Listen, against Dallas, 49 yards per kick. Jesus. One inside the 20, 2 touchbacks. This guy got a leg, man. Now I want to talk about the Saquon Barkley situation. But before we do that, what does he have? What are we looking at with Saquon? What are we looking at with Saquon? Right? What does he have? He has 2,005 yards. 13 touchdowns, 33 receptions, 278 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's a couple of records he could have broke where he was held back from. He could have broke the all-purpose joint. If I'm gonna tell you like this: before AJ Brown came through, and had his little turmoil, we was talking about if Chris Johnson, if he was going to break Chris Johnson record, everything was on point. And then, okay, we got to throw it to AJ more. And the thing Chase Daniels saying, just throw it to, win the football game. If you want to get mad, go somewhere. You already paid, bro. You're paid. We're winning and you're paid. Now you're complaining about getting the ball. You know why you're not getting the ball. There's a certain, to win this game, because you're giving it to Saquon and it's happening. Now stop. We're not divas around here, man. That's my guy, AJ, man. But that was some diva shit. It was. You should just came to Jalen. But at the same time, they're like, they asked him a question. You knew what not to say. Why y'all acting like you don't know what not to say, man? Oh, he just was asked a question. That's all he was asked a question. Man, that's so retarded, man. It is. Because now you babying. No, have respect for your friend. But friends go through. That's the thing about it. I don't agree with. Friends go through stuff. That don't mean that they're not getting along. They had a disagreement. Shoot, even if friends not getting along, they get back along. I mean, they have situations where they be like, whatever. That happens. They're human. That's why I felt like it was blown out of proportion. But what AJ should have did was not come out in public. They ask you a question. Is there any problems with it? No, it's not any problems, but it's things. Any problems with things we got to get better at, and we will. We're going to get better as a team. We're evolving, and that's it. That's how you that's it. If you got a problem with passing, you go to Jalen and say, "Hey, Jalen, man, I want the ball, man. Come on, figure out a way to get me the ball. Then bring the coach Sirianni. Can we get something figured out? Because the same way you came out in public could have been said in the clubhouse. That is it. Brandon Graham, people was blaming him. I feel y'all though. I feel y'all for what he said. I mean, he shouldn't have came out and said that. Should have kept it in the house like AJ did. But I had to play the role like, okay, these are just a squad, but they both was wrong for coming out in the public, putting it in the media, letting the media deal with it. Then the game comes up and then, he got to say, is this what y'all looking for? Is this what y'all looking for? Is this what y'all want to see? He got to say that. This man has been abide by the coaches, the coordinators, and he got to say that. I don't get it, man. It's kind of crazy to me, real crazy to me how they think that. Like that was real crazy. But I just told you about Saquon Barkley. Now the first thing, let's just start with the Saquon Barkley thing. Listen, first Eric Dixon being bad. Y'all don't think no type of way about that. No, I mean he don't want nobody to break his record. He can say that. He has the right to say that. Shady McCoy, man, that's my guy, dog, and it'll always be my guy. But just like AJ Brown, now we're not friends like that. We don't know each other personally, but I'm just saying, Shady McCoy, I got respect for him. But I disagree with this. Old heads as they talk. Man, let him talk. Let him talk. He didn't call him a punk or nothing. He ain't say, man, nah. But McCoy was cool with Barkley breaking his joint. You're different. He just felt like he don't want nobody to break his record. That is it. He can say it's his record. That is his record. So he can say that. To me, that made no sense to make that a problem. I don't get why there had to be a problem. I mean, you came right on there and disrespected him. He didn't disrespect Barkley. He just said, no, I don't want him to break my record. You came up and say, old heads, like, come on, Shady. It's like him saying, these young bucks, that's just, here go these young bucks. They don't know how to mind their manners. Like, come on, man. That was just not good between two elite. One's a Hall of Famer, another one's going to be a Hall of Famer, should be a Hall of Famer, Shady, and y'all running backs. And I understand what you're saying. I understand why Shady probably because he's taking up. He's an Eagle, so he's taking up for Barkley. That's what he called himself doing. Because when they see each other in person, man, Shady not going to just ram on them and stuff like that. And they're going to talk about it and they're going to laugh about it. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? So come on. Why you got to say these hold heads and all this? No, bro. He don't want nobody to break his record. That's his record. It's not Barkley's yet. And now now they're not even going to put him out there to break the record. So that's one thing. Another thing is this, Eric Dickerson. And I'm sure by this time people know about it because I think Eric Dickerson put a highlight on this situation. When you broke the record, y'all was playing 16 games. O.J. Simpson, God rest his soul, broke it in 14 games. Can y'all hear that? 14 games. 2,000 yards. That's amazing in itself. I didn't even like that. That was something I didn't know until recently. You start looking at I started looking at the record before he got to 2,000. I was like, 14 games. Everybody on that list is irrelevant right now. He did it in 14 games. Just imagine if he probably would have had 2,200 yards. Everybody be you trying to break that. You're looking at this, and Eric Dixon, I mean, like I say, nothing's wrong with that, but 14 games, that's it. But now we go to 17. So it's time for it to be broke again. I mean, Barkley really, it was the game he had 67 yards. Jalen Hurts threw the AJ. It was right after the AJ Brown stuff. You know, Barkley had like 67 yards. He didn't even have 100. They didn't try to go for that like they usually do. They was doing this to let people know, yeah, we could pass. Went out their own element for everybody else. Then, or we could pass more. That's what it did. And then, when you look at the game where he could have been with the New York Giants, where he chose not to go in, who knows what we're talking about where he would have broke their record? Who knows? Who knows? So we come now to the last, and he's been the most humblest of all superstars I've seen besides Jalen Hurts. And you mean to tell me Nick Sirianni, Jeff, y'all can't go for that? You talking about what if he gets hurt? What if he gets hurt the first playoff game? Stop that what if stuff, man. Play football. Play football. I could see if you didn't have nothing on the line. This is on the line. You go get that for him because he got you here. That's just crazy right there. I really don't agree with this. And I wish, you know what I mean? I doubt they hear this. But if y'all need to change your decision and let him run. This will mean a lot for the franchise. This will mean a lot for running backs. This will mean a lot for this generation. This will mean a lot for Barkley and what he's done. It's a payoff right to him. It mean a lot for his line. His line, Lane Johnson said, no, man, forget Lane. If Barkley gets hurt in the playoffs, then you're going to be like, oh, well, it's a lot of ifs. The same if he get hurt here, he can get hurt in the playoffs. So I'd rather take the risk of the playoffs. That don't even make no sense. They both a game. So if he's hurt here, what if he can't play next week in the playoffs? If he gets hurt in the playoffs, what if he can't play the rest of the playoffs in the first playoff game? It could happen both ways. Or what if he gets hurt now, rushing for the record, and can still play in the playoffs, even though he was hurt, but he'll be healthy in time for the playoffs? Or maybe not this first playoff game, maybe the next playoff game. Or what if he get hurt in the playoffs and he can't play in that game right there? He gets hurt and he can play in the next playoff game if y'all win it. Or what if he can't play in the next playoff game, but can play in the next playoff game, which would be the conference championship? It's a lot of ifs, man. Just play football. This is an iconic record. This is a one-of-one record, man. I just feel like it makes no sense. Y'all could talk y'all don't even sound right. Because what you're saying don't sound right. You don't want him to get hurt in any game. Any game. That was the main thing before the season started. The same thing they said about Swift. Oh, what if he gets hurt? Yeah, he has an injury problem. You know, Barkley has an injury problem. He didn't get hurt. Now y'all just like, oh man, he could get hurt. Oh God, he had 31 carries last game. I just think it's real crazy that, you know, that we sitting here and we're talking about this is an iconic record. This is not it. And then one person, what was this? Nick Sirianni said something about when Smitty was doing. This is not Smitty rookie record. This is not a rookie record. This is not a rookie record. It's not a rookie record. This is iconic. This is like having the all-time receiving yards. It's like having the all-time passing yards. This is all-time rushing. Most touchdowns ever by a quarterback. Most touchdowns ever. This is a record that's been standing like almost like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's was before LeBron broke it in the NBA. The most games played. What is wrong with y'all, man? I just think you just that is a disappointment. That is a say what then Simone Stanley shout out to Simone Stanley was like, y'all acting like he can't break it again. We ain't saying that. We saying he could break it now. But that's another if situation. The same ifs you got for the same ifs that you got. The same ifs that you got for if he makes the playoffs. Or if no, same ifs that you got if he get hurt. Is he going to be able to? He has the talent. We know that. We got the offensive line, but is he going to be able to break it again? Oh, you had the AJ Brown situation. You might cut the carries now. The same ifs y'all talking about if he get hurt. There's a lot more ifs. So now you're trying to gamble if he can get the record next year. Then you're talking about, oh man, we can win. Y'all trying to say we can't win the Super Bowl without Barkley? Y'all said the same thing about Foles. Like this offensive line just can't. It hasn't just blocked good for Barkley. It's blocked good for Gainwell too. Blocked good for Jalen Hurts. I just feel like you're playing scared for no reason. No reason. This is football. Just don't go out and play football. And this is iconic. What he's doing it for, you're like, oh, no, this is an iconic record. This is not just the most carries. This is not just the most carries. This record has been standing a very long time. This is not just the most yards per carry. This is not just another 100-yard game. This is not a 200-yard game you're trying to get. This is an iconic record that will stand for a long time. It's just crazy, man. But listen, y'all can try to say whatever you want. If he get hurt, he can get hurt anywhere. Think about that. He can get hurt anywhere. Remember McNabb in the Carolina conference championship game? He can get hurt in the conference championship game, like McNabb did. T.O. got hurt in the season. In the season, right? Who say that was going to happen? Who knew that was going to happen? You just never know. I just gave you a McNabb injury and gave you a season injury. A season injury, and I gave you a playoff injury. I gave you two of them. T.O. hurt his ankle in the season. Didn't play until the Super Bowl. That don't happen, like that. I know ACL. But McNabb got hurt in the conference championship. So that's two. It's two proofs. You can get hurt in the season and you can get hurt in the playoffs. Let this man get the record. Let this man get this record. You are not saving the playoffs or saving the Super Bowl. It's like you don't have no confidence in yourself. This team is super loaded. And you mean to tell me, oh man, if Barkley out, y'all can't win it? But even if you feel like that, right? This is an iconic record. You respect him. You let him go for this. If you hear them talk at the interview and he was talking, he was like, I don't care. I want to go for another goal. But in his interview, he was like, it would be great. And no matter how I feel about it, it would be good to get that. It would be great. But I'm more for a Super Bowl. You listen to him talk. He wants to go for that record. But if he's saying, if y'all make the decision not to tell me to go, all right. But he wants that record. Listen, man. We out of here. That's crazy. Going out here on a note, let Barkley play, man. I'm out, man. We about to end this thing here, man. Great here. Hardcore Sports Network. Follow the leader. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Facebook. Follow High Level Sports. And we out, man.